So welcome to my urban chicken coop. It's really simple, but it's very, very effective. I have designed this to be completely in regulation when it comes to bylaws, to the point that I don't need to seek application with any building councils or building departments, because it is smaller than the required size to be able to get plans. This is smaller than a Wendy house. If you know what Wendy houses are, a lot of people have them to store their tools and all the things like that. This little coop is only 1 meter wide and about 2 meters long. That is small. The bylaw states anything bigger than 10 square meters, at least here in Cape Town, you require building plans for. Anything less than 10 square meters, you don't. So this you don't need building plans for, which is really awesome. So when you are building your chicken coop, make sure that you are complying with regulations so that you don't have to go through the schlep of having to go and seek out an architect to get plans and go through the whole rigmarole of having to get building inspectors out to make sure that what you're doing is within what they want. So what I've done to bypass the overall size of the chicken coop, because if you see, it seems like quite a big coop, but in essence it's a tiny little coop, and the rest of it is all just a shade and wind protection run. It is disconnected from the actual chicken coop. So if you have a look, there's all black. The black is not even connected through to the main part of the coop. The wooden frame with the roof is the actual coop, and that's what houses the chickens, has their nesting boxes, but the rest of this is all just shade cloth, and the shade cloth protects them from the severe winds we get here in Cape Town, and also gives them some protection from the elements when it comes through. And it's as simple as that. Chicken coop, very small, very simple. Extend the size of your coop by putting in runs that are not connected to the actual building, so that it can't be considered an actual fixture to the coop, which then extends its building footprint. So then when it comes to the actual build of the coop itself, as you can see, it's as wide as my arms are, so it's not big, and this is the height of it. So it's quite small. It falls within, like I said, regulation, but what it is it's OSB plywood on the outside. OSB because OSB is really good when it comes to weathering. I've actually got nothing on here, and sorry if you can hear wind noise. We have a blazing southeaster today. This board you don't even need to cover. It's about 2.5 years old, almost 3 years old, and I haven't put anything on it, so no sealant, no varnishes, no nothing. And you can see it's just naturally weathered. It hasn't swelled up at all. Here it's open over here and no swelling of the wood. But in essence what it is, this is just a single sheet of OSB plywood that is being cut to various sizes, small hinges put on, and that's it. These are just 38 by 76 wooden posts, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and then I've just put some wooden bracing in for some support. This thing is, camera's wobbling probably because it's all connected, but this thing is has seen 90, almost 100 km/h gusts come through, and it has not budged. So it is rock solid. The OSB is also very strong plywood. So once you have your supports in place for the actual frame of the house, as soon as you put on your plywood, it is going to be rock solid. So try and use, if possible, a single sheet, because that's going to maintain some structural integrity rather than having multiple cuts, and then you can still get some wiggles. This was a single one, so it's nice and strong. On the other side of the coop, there isn't a cut. It's just a single piece that has been cut out. Then if we take a look at the inside, this is all scraps. These are scrap pieces from pallets that I just put on the inside of a little wall, so it just separates the two rooms. And what we have here are the nesting boxes and the nesting area. On that side is the roost, so that's where there are two different poles and they figure out where they want to sleep. This they sometimes use just to sit on, to stand on, and they also use this as from the inside, jumping. From here they jump up to the top, and then they work on their own pecking order, and the highest ones sleep at the top. Not the highest ones, the ones with the most authority in the group. Nesting boxes, pretty straightforward, and that is literally it. I'll take you into the ladder now so you can see what the ladder looks like. Also just completely scrap pieces of wood that's put together that serves a pretty decent function. So here we have our little ladder system. It's just two pieces of wood with some scrap pieces of pallet wood stapled together, and they have an awesome little run straight up into the roof of the house. That's all that they need, and you can see they go up and down every single day. And what they have underneath here is a nice covered area, completely protected from rain, from strong winds, sun, anything like that. And then the rest of it, if we have a look, is all open, and they just absolutely love this space. There's some grains, there's hay, straw, oat hay. I give them regular greens, so they have an abundance of food and things that they can scratch. And then that's the back rung that has a nice thick piece of shade cloth on the top, and this they can also use to protect them from some of the rain. But altogether, when you stitch these multiple pieces together, they have a really nice area that they can play with that requires no maintenance, no plans, and serves these 5 little girls really, really well. Then the other thing that we have is obviously their feed, and what I have done for the feed system is taken an old plastic drum, drilled a hole in it, and put in a toilet, I think, toilet elbow, which is nice and big, so they can get their heads in completely. And what this does is it stops any field mice, rats, pigeons, squirrels, anything from actually getting in here. They really, really struggle. And then on the inside, it's just gravity fed. Keep it full as the chickens peck. It just keeps coming out. This system works really, really well for them, with the lid on to stop it from getting wet. Really simple, also upcycled. Found this lying around. This was the old one we no longer use. This is a lid I found somewhere, I don't know. So once again, no need to go out and buy all these fancy things. You probably have things like this lying around that you can just repurpose at home. And then a small but very important part of keeping chickens is calcium and grit. So this is grit. This is just from oyster shells, so this gives them the calcium that they need. It also helps them process all of the food that they're busy eating, works through their little internal systems and all of that. I am not a vet, I'm not that clued up on them, so I don't know what they are called. All that I know is that they need this to help them process all of their food, so make sure you get one of these as well. And then the final thing is they're birds, and just remember that they like being up, they like playing. So this is just a branch that I've taken, strapped it to there, put it on a pole, and on hot nights they sometimes even sleep on it. Same on this side where we have a little contraption of branches. They love playing on it. During the day you can regularly find them sitting on it and just sleeping. So just remember, they are birds, and like I showed you earlier in the video, this is something they absolutely love. They jump up with their little chicken legs, and you can see how they've started eating it from the bottom, and I can promise you by this evening that'll be just stalks. So if you've ever contemplated getting chickens, now is the time to do it. There are bylaws that allow you to keep chickens, irrespective of who says what. You can keep up to 5 here in Cape Town, and you need to just check your various council bylaws to see how many you can keep. Obviously, you're not allowed to keep roosters. I've done a video that I will tag in here on what some of the specifics are about some of the bylaws here in South Africa, but the same applies to all over the world. Check your bylaws, work within those. Same with the building. Don't go extravagant. As soon as you go extravagant, huge, custom, all of that, you need building inspectors, you need plans, you need architects, waste of money and a waste of energy and time. Find out what the minimum allowed building structure is that you don't need plans for, go with that. And then bolt on things like a shade cloth run, which gives them a bit of protection, but is not actually a structure. If you have any questions, please drop them below. As always, I will get back to you. Please like and subscribe so that you can follow my journey as I extend into the next chapter in my life. And soon I'll be showing you where these 5 ladies are heading next in their journey as I move on further into my journey. Until next time, happy growing.